What's going on, everybody? We are live. I got an awesome free training for you guys today. I don't know if you can hear that outside, but it is thundering. But today we're going to be discussing why most diets don't work. And if you've tried diets in the past, if you've tried workout plans even in the past, and maybe you kill it for a little bit, but you always end up in that same spot, I really think that this is going to be a super valuable training for you to digest and to understand. So if you are watching on the replay, do me a favor and just comment hashtag replay or something like that below so I know you are tuning in. We're going to be covering some awesome stuff today. I want to dive in depth on how you can utilize this information to develop a health plan that works, right? So if you've tried to lose weight in the past and it hasn't worked, maybe you've lost a little bit, but then you kind of end up back to that same old lifestyle. This training is really going to help you understand what steps you can take to make sure that those results last. So we're just going to dive right into it. So if you think about how most health plans are formulated, right? You think about like the standard health plan of how to lose weight, the diet, the workout plan. You have a certain workout, right? You're told to go to the gym and lift weights. You're told to run. You're told to do yoga. You have basically XYZ. This is what you have to do. Then you look at the diet plan, right? Same thing. XYZ, this is what you have to eat. You have to get these macronutrients. You have to eat these foods. And you have the specific blueprint for how you're going to eat. And then for like the 0.1% of health plans out there that do touch on sleep, they again say, this is what you have to do, XYZ. And that's rare. Most health plans out there don't even address sleep, even though it's such a major factor. So that's the first problem, right? Before we even get into the actual depth and the actual psychology for why these things don't work. Obviously, sleep is a big component, and most health plans don't look at that, right? So when we're looking at health, we want to look at it holistically. We want to look at it as this big picture that has a bunch of different moving pieces. So if you are in a situation and you're trying a new health plan and they're giving you, you have to eat right and you have to exercise and that's it, you're missing an entire factor to health. You're missing stress. You're missing mental health. You're missing, obviously, sleep. And so the problem with most of those plans is they give you this mold, right? Now, I want you to think about who you are as a person, right? I want you to think about the way you function, the way you operate, your daily schedule, your hours that you sleep, your access to certain foods, what type of food you gravitate towards, what type of food you stray away from, your exercise routine if you have one, how often you're going to the gym, what exercise you do, what exercise you enjoy. And so when a specific plan touches on the basics, right, they touch on this is what you have to eat, this is what you have to move with, and this is how you have to sleep, they're missing you, right? You're that key component. So I have this little circle here that I really want to break down today. This is super important in understanding how to make health plans work for you, right? So we're going to be just peeling back each layer piece by piece, really diving into kind of what each layer represents. So we'll start on the outer layer. If you see this here, this represents about 95% of health plans out there. If you go to a coach, if you buy a plan, if you try to pick up advice from someone, this is the piece that most of them focus on. And this is focusing on the outcome, right? So if you are a little overweight and you are trying to lose weight and live a healthier lifestyle, most plans out there are going to say, all right, lose 10 pounds. All right, we're going to lose 20 pounds. We're going to lose 30 pounds. We're going to lose 40 pounds. And they put all of their focus and energy into that outcome, right? Before I dive into this, I see someone is hopping on live. If you could do me a favor and just comment hashtag live down below so I know you're here. And of course, leave any comments along the way if you have anything. I would love to just interact with you throughout this. So this is the outer layer, right? We focus on the outcome. Here's the problem with that. This is such a surface level way to look at health, right? Because if you're focusing on the outcome, when you're in the trenches, when you're putting in the work, that's all your focus is going to be on, and you're not going to learn to enjoy the process, right? and you're going to do a week of dieting, a week of sleeping, a week of working out, and you're going to step on the scale and you wanted to lose 20 pounds and you see you've only lost 0.5 pounds and you're going to get discouraged, right? Or because you want to stick to this perfect diet, once you eat that thing that's off the diet, because we all inevitably mess up, and you look at the outcome, you don't think you're cut out for it, right? To lose 10 pounds, to lose 20 pounds. Like, if I can't even cultivate the right choice in this one moment, how can I achieve this huge goal? And so that's the big problem with layer one, right? And that's, again, 95% of people out there do this. They focus on, okay, you got to work out, you got to eat this, you got to sleep, you got to do that and this, without taking into account the individual and how psychology works and how the mind works, right? So say we peel this a layer back, right? Say we have outcome, but we really want to go a little more in depth. And if you can see here, this is where about 4.9% of the remaining health plans out there work. And so this is focusing on the process, right? And this is good. This is really a good place to be. I'd much rather someone going and trying to lose weight, trying to change their life with their health, focuses on the process than focuses on the outcome. But it's not the best, and here's why. So when you're focusing on the process, again, you're putting all of that energy into going through the motions, into going to the gym to work out and eating the right foods. And number one, if you miss a food, if you make a mistake, if you slip up, if you miss a workout, that's going to be extremely discouraging to you, right? Because your focus is more on the process. You're focusing more on, okay, this is what I had to do. I didn't do it. I must not be good enough. I must not be cut out for this. And then you go back into your old way of living, right? So again, process. So first, outcome, middle, process. Hey, Joey, I see you hopping on, man. Thanks for being here. So if we look at this inner layer, right, and we're focusing on the process, again, if you make a mistake, if you slip up, it's going to be a big issue. But also, this isn't custom tailored to who you are as a person, right? So we're still going to be focusing, yes, like it's good to focus on the process of what you have to do. But if someone tells you to go to the gym and lift weights and you hate lifting weights, how is that going to help you, right? That's going to make the entire process stressful, which is going to add to your body's ability to not be able to break down as much fat, not be able to process foods the right way because of that stress, and not be able to enjoy things, right? And if you can't enjoy things, how is that a sustainable process? So what usually happens in this inner layer of the circle is, people either give up before they even get to the goal, or they get to the goal, and then after that, they go back to their exact same way of living before, and they gain all that weight back, or they run into more of those health issues. And so, yes, again, process is way better than focusing on the outcome, but it's still not good enough if we want to make this last, right? And so that's when we get into the inner part of the circle. And this is where about 0.1% of the plans out there run on. I don't see many plans doing this. I see a lot of people putting focus into diet and how many pounds you're going to lose and making their entire coaching process about that, when in reality, the best thing to focus on with any plan, not even a health plan, anything out there, is your identity, right? I want to give you two scenarios. So say you are out and you're at a fast food restaurant, a friend dragged you there or something, and you have this big juicy burger in front of you. And you told yourself you wouldn't eat fast food. You told yourself you want to diet, you want to have a salad instead, whatever. And that juicy burger is in front of you, right? You're going to start negotiating with yourself in scenario one, right? If you're focusing on the outcome, if you're focusing on the process, that's when that negotiation starts. It's one time, it's delicious, it's free, so I might as well just indulge. I've been good all week, so I might as well treat myself. And you end up eating that burger, right? Whereas if you have this factor of identity, it's not even an option. You're like, no, I don't eat fast food. I don't do that. I don't eat fast food, because at my core, in my identity, that's who I am as a person. Like, for me specifically, I haven't had fast food in years. I honestly don't know how long, but like, this is something that's built into my identity. I do not eat fast food. As delicious as it is, as convenient as it may be, that's not the type of food I put into my body. Like, there's no negotiation. I don't even think in my head, like, maybe I should this one time, maybe I shouldn't. Like, It's not my identity. That's not what I do. And so when you focus on the identity and you shift your identity to who you want to become, that process and that outcome just happens, right? It's not about wanting to do it and putting all this willpower into it and using self-discipline and trying to set yourself up for success as best as you possibly can, because it's innately inside of you. You have that identity in you. And so the reason most plans out there fail, diet plans, exercise plans, for the rare majority of sleep plans, is because they focus on either the process or the outcome. And they don't integrate and they don't acknowledge the fact that you are an individual, that you have a certain way of thinking, a certain way of acting on a daily basis. And if you avoid that, and if you focus on the process and outcome, you're going to crash and burn, right? Whereas if you have that identity, if you shift that identity from where you are now, if you consider yourself non-disciplined, if you consider yourself easy to cave into temptation, that's your identity at your core, right? So yes, there's always going to be those times where you negotiate with yourself. But if you can shift that identity to someone who is self-disciplined, to someone who treats their body right, to someone who enjoys working out and has that as part of their lifestyle, the results come, right? So the focus isn't on the outcome. The focus may be a little bit on the process, but it's more about doing the things that shift your identity, that middle part of the circle. So look, guys, if this helped, definitely apply for a strategy call. I put the link in the description. This is a style of coaching that I use to get people awesome results, to actually make a huge shift in their lifestyle. I was working with someone last month, and she literally, without even making that many changes, she made one single shift, and it wasn't even like difficult for her to do. She lost 6 pounds in a couple weeks, right? So this stuff is sustainable. This stuff is possible. And if you're looking to have a free strategy call where we can talk about, how you can do this, how you can integrate this into your life, and if one of my programs is right for you, go to that link, apply. I would love to chat about your situation, about how I can help, and about how we can get this identity to be a fit, motivated, self-disciplined badass inside of you. Because we all have this potential. We all have this inside of you. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about any fit person out there. They've just figured out how to shift that identity. So with that being said, everybody, again, apply if you need that. Shoot me a message if there's anything specifically you want me to cover in the trainings. Joey, thank you for being here, man. Anyone else who stops by on the replay, make sure you use #replay just so I know you're here. Let me know what you think, comment, engage. But yeah, let's absolutely kill it. Let's shift that identity. Let's zone in, make health our #1 priority, and let's absolutely kill it. So appreciate you all, and we will talk later. Peace.